On this episode of Goofing Off,
a new challenge is back.
Dominic shares a new game with us on Games on a Budget.
And find out what two games will go head-to-head in face-off. Welcome back to Goofing Off. I'm Andrea Ash.
And I'm Brendan O'Hara. Andrea, it's your line.
Oh yeah, sorry. So let's jump right into our first segment, Games on a Budget with Dominic.
Hi everybody, I'm Dominic Fernoodle, and this is Games on a Budget. Today, I'll be looking at a charming storytelling game called The Yogg. While it can be played alone, The Yogg is a game best enjoyed with friends, and up to 4 people can play. You choose at least 2 of the 4 playable characters to start your story, and are told one thing: The Yogg will be here in 6 weeks. That's all you know, and you have those 6 weeks to prepare however you see fit. Every week, you can do one activity at any of the 8 locations on the map, and depending on what you do, you will gain or lose certain stats. During the week, you will always encounter a random event that will shape the story of your character and the story of the town. For example, if you spend your week brewing potions at the Alchemy Tower, you'll get some points towards mind and magic. One day, you might even have to quickly dispose of a dangerous potion, and if you, for example, dump it into the town's water supply, it will affect the rest of the story. If anyone manages to mess up too badly, you may even find a whole location wiped off the map. The 6 weeks pass by surprisingly quickly, and if you've done nothing but spend time at the tavern, you could find yourself unprepared. Once disaster strikes, there will be an epilogue to tell you how the town fared and where your character ended up. Sometimes you'll find things turned out well for your character and they led a nice calm life. Other times you may rise up as a vampire king and lead an army of mind-controlled servants. There are dozens of possibilities, and the combination of the clever writing, whimsical illustrations, and beautiful music make it hard not to jump back in and see how your next story goes. The Yogg was published by Damien Summer and is available on Steam for $9.99. Know of any good cheap games, like what I had for you today? Be sure to tweet at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag GOAB. Until next time, I'm Dominic from Mali, keeping your wallets full with Games on a Budget.
I had a dream last night, the worst part of you came to life.
So, if you haven't noticed, we literally only have 1 month of school left. I can't believe it's about that time.
Time? What time?
Time to jump into Animate with me, Brendan O'Hara. Hello anime fans, I'm Brendan O'Hara and this is Animate. It's time to break out the tissue boxes and pretend you're chopping onions, because this time I'm talking about one of the saddest anime ever made, Anohana, the flower we saw that day. This series follows the daily life of Jinta Yadomi, a seemingly normal high school student who spends his days lazing around and playing video games. Jinta's life is quiet, other than the fact that he suddenly finds himself seeing a vision of his old friend Menma, who died in an accident years ago. First seeing her as a hallucination, he does his best to ignore her, but he soon begins to realize the purpose of her sudden reappearance in his life. Since Menma's death years ago, Jinta's group of friends he used to lead slowly broke apart and went on with their own lives, and now with Menma's help, he has to get them back together again. But that is no easy task, as many of them have moved on from the past and abandoned it completely, attempting to move on with their own lives and forget the pain of what happened all those years ago. Now, I am plenty man enough to admit that this series made me ugly cry. Not the dignified Native American single tear, but maniacal sobbing. But what is it about this series that has the ability to make grown men weep? Well, I have some ideas. As we grow up, we always have that group of friends we'll never forget. We live together, learn together, and hurt together. But as we grow older, reality sets in and we begin to realize that maybe things won't always be this simple. But the real question this series asks is, why can't it be that simple all the time? Who says a group of young adults can't play a game of hide and seek again like they used to in the old days? Who says we can't keep that sense of childish wonder staring at the stars and sharing those moments with the people who mean the most to us? What really struck me about this series is how it was able to take me on a journey along with it, back to simpler times before school and bills and responsibilities, and just have me sit back and relax and enjoy the ride along with this group of characters as they explore those questions for themselves. This is a great example of anime being used for more than just fan service or marketing, and really telling a great story that takes you along full circle with a satisfying conclusion that will hopefully teach you a thing or two along the way. The animation and soundtrack perfectly capture the feel of summertime and definitely complement this story about repairing bonds that have long been broken. If you're looking for an emotional roller coaster of a series that is both enjoyable and heartbreaking, be sure to check out Anohana, the flower we saw that day. That's all I have for you this week, but remember to tweet out your thoughts or recommendations you might have to ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag Animate. Until next time, I'm Brendan O'Hara, and this has been Animate.
So have you ever noticed how the wall has a TV with our logo on it?
Andrea, why are you suddenly realizing that now? This is the 4th episode and we've always had that set behind us.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
The room I was in when I was abducted by Crawl.
You have got to be kidding me. Look, Kral is not real. He is just a character from Star Trek, nothing more.
False. He is real, and he is just not a character from that movie.
I guess this calls for a break.
We'll see you when you get back.
Like what you see here in Goofing Off? Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page. And also check out our Instagram.
So, here is some research explaining why Kral is not real.
Seriously? You think this is funny? You know what? I think you're just jealous of me because I was on a cool alien ship.
Yeah, sure. I'm jealous.
Well, good, because I was told to give you this.
What is this?
I don't know. It was given to me by Crawl. While Brendan reads his letter, let's see what Mike has for us this week on Mainstream Mike.
Hey everybody, I'm Mainstream Mike, your captain in the gaming mainstream. Guys, I will admit something to you. I love the Final Fantasy series. Yes, it's true, some are better than others, and it's also true that some of the characters are more irritating than others. Talking about you, Hope. But one thing these games always do is inspire imagination in everyone who plays the games. So today, I will be taking a look at Final Fantasy 15 and see what this game has in stores. But I hear you say, Mike, how did you get game footage? Well, on my PS4, one of the first games I bought was Final Fantasy Type 0, and it came with the playable demo. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so for starters, we have the start of a character named Noctis, who I'm assuming will be the main character. And then we get an opening shot of some beautiful scenery, with his friends talking about needing money to get their car fixed. We have cars in Final Fantasy now? But then we get some stuff I really hope they fix, like the camera being way too close to the main character or party leader, and the ability to run for more than 10 seconds, because you are walking a lot. So how's the combat? Well, for one thing, dodging costs MP. Wait, what? But you can also teleport in this game for cool strike attacks. And when teleporting, you can regain MP. Take the good with the bad, I guess. Also, the combat doesn't have a load screen like every other Final Fantasy game. Once you see a monster, you cut straight into a fight. It actually makes it feel more fluid than any other Final Fantasy game before it. From after that point, though, it's hammer the square button. And I played Kingdom Hearts, so I guess I'm okay with that. Let's try and look at the story, which they don't give us much in this demo. You fight a monster, get the money, get your car fixed. Again, what? I think Noctis is royalty of some kind because one of his friends constantly keeps calling him Your Highness. This has been a learning experience for me, as I have never tried to review a demo before on this show. But if I had to give it my opinion, I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. The scenery rocks, the combat system seems like it will be great if they get the game fixed. So I hope they fix the camera, the speed, and all the other little bugs that I had to deal with. And first and foremost, I'm a Final Fantasy fan, so I can't wait to play it when the game comes out for real. Are you excited for Final Fantasy 15? Be sure to let me know by tweeting ZTV Goofing Off with the hashtag mainstream. And until next time, I'm Mainstream Mike saying, see you later, guys.
Andrea, you know what? You have such terrible handwriting.
I didn't write that. It was given to me.
Then who gave it to you?
I don't remember. It might be Crawl. All I remember is that when I came back here, this fell out of my pocket with your name on it.
Okay, sure. Always making up stories.
Fine. Don't believe me.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Movie Snobs. Today, we'll be talking about Kung Fu Panda 3. Kung Fu Panda 3 is the third installment in the Kung Fu Panda series. And in this one, the main character, Po, voiced by Jack Black, will learn the ways of Ki to defeat an ancient foe, Kai. Kai is able to turn soldiers into solid jade, forcing them to obey him. The only way to defeat him is to use Ki to banish him back to the spirit world. Additionally, Po is found by his father and taken to a secret village filled with pandas. With the approach of Kai, Po must master Ki in order to defeat him. So, let's talk about what's good with this movie. I absolutely love how in the 3 movies, Po has gone from student to honing his skills to being a master. That is how a trilogy is meant to go. The development of the character and his life. I also enjoy the interaction with Po and his adopted father and his real father. Now, let's talk about the bad. Like I said before, a trilogy is about making development of a character, and these movies did it in one way, but lacked in another. Po has stayed the same personality throughout the entire series, with the same lingo and no improvement on his maturity, always using the word awesome. Now the similarities between the movies are all strikingly similar. Po has to defeat an enemy by learning something new and using it against him. Po's friends, the Furious Five, are powerless to stop this enemy, and only Po can defeat them. Now the weird thing about these movies are that there are 4 movies contracted with Jack Black in them. Now, little is known about these movies, but there's really not much to go off of with 4 movies coming up.
Justice is about to be served.
Well, that's all the time I have for now. My future feature is God of Egypt, directed by Alex Proyas. In this movie, the survival of mankind hangs in the balance when a man must rescue the empire from chaos and conflict as the gods battle each other and mortals alike. Join me next time. Got any movies you'd like to see? Agree or disagree with my opinion? Tweet me at Goofing Off with the hashtag MovieSnobs.
So I think we all just need a breather. Let's take a break, Brendan.
1 sec. Jer, can we take a quick break? I am not feeling too hot. Okay, thanks. Yeah, Jer says we can.
Okay, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Like what you see here on Goofing Off? Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube page, and make sure to check us out on Instagram. Welcome back. So I think Jer is crazy.
What do you mean?
Well, you know how we do challenges, right?
Yeah, and they're quite entertaining.
Well, I think this week's challenge is awful.
Why? Does it deal with something gross?
You'll just have to watch. Let's check it out.
Hello and welcome back to Goofing Off Challenge. So today's the bug challenge. So we have Emily Drapp from Lowdown with us today and a new member, Eden, with us today. So we're gonna do this because everybody else on our team chickened out. So it's just gonna be Dom, I, and then our 2 special guests. So what we have in front of us, from the smallest to dangerous, we have black ant eggs, and then we have mealworms, and then big crickets, grasshopper, male rhino beetles, and the last is 2 black Asian scorpions. So we're gonna start with that. So put it in the middle. All right.
These aren't
So
so bad.
this is the eggs, the ant eggs. Oh, it's so soft and gross.
They're soft?
I don't think I can do this.
Jer's reaction terrifies me. The worst part is there's a little tiny leg here.
I'm
It
trying to
just
think
makes
of
me so
what
sad.
else this could be. Like, just
It-
think about
They
something
smell,
else.
they look kind of like raisins.
Come on, Dom. Come on, Dom. Just do it.
You can do it.
They kind of smell like raisins.
You gotta get more than that.
There's only 3.
Come on.
Okay.
All right, ready?
All right.
3, 2,
Smell like raisins.
1.
It's fine. They've been swallowed. Everything's
Oh, they're
fine.
really chewy. I can't swallow it.
Okay, there's one stuck in my tooth.
No, it's honestly wasn't that bad. It tastes like a raisin.
I did. Except like there was
There's still
very
those-
little ants in my
There's
mouth.
like little stuff lingering around my mouth. It's gross.
It tasted
Yeah.
like fear.
The aftertaste is the worst. And it's crunchy.
Oh,
Oh.
Very crunchy.
Whew, it wasn't so bad.
Okay,
Here's
that wasn't
one.
too bad.
Oh, yeah, I dropped a bit there.
All right, so that was the black ants. How do you guys feel?
Not
Good.
bad. Not
Good.
bad.
Do you think we can move on?
I've
I felt
ingested
pretty good,
ants.
actually.
It's a good starter.
All right. Next, we have mealworms. So these are the mealworms.
Minimum of 3. Got it.
Minimum 3.
I have like 5. It's okay.
Okay. Come on, Dom.
I'm picking them out. I'm picking out my 3. There we go. They're
They're the
slippery.
chosen ones, right?
I'm trying my best here.
Chosen. You got this. One at a time. There you
In my
go.
head, like I feel like
You
they're
can do
moving.
it. Just don't
I'm
look at
freaking
them.
out.
Ready, here we
It's
go.
fine.
Don't look at them closely.
And
There.
3. Why did I grab more than you guys?
I got 3.
I have
2,
like
I have
8.
5.
1, go.
Oh,
Oh,
actually.
that's actually not bad.
Wow, hey.
I would eat that again.
Again?
No.
It's like a nice salad topper.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
croutons. Next, we have is black crickets, or big crickets.
Oh.
Guys, ready?
Don't look at
Are
them in
these-
the eyes.
Are they seasoned?
Nope.
I don't
No.
know.
This is just a cricket.
All right, let's go.
Should we?
You know, these crickets had families.
I'm gonna take this one just because it looks big.
Oh, that's a good
These
idea.
wings.
Hello, Mr. Cricket.
Which one do you think you'll take,
I want to
Emily?
eat you.
Oh, good
Oh,
choice.
you look so sad.
I should choose a cricket.
Come on, Dom.
I'm doing it, Jer. All right, I'm
do
doing
it.
this for you, Jer.
Not for me.
Oh,
You can do
for
it.
Goof. Just pick it up. There you go.
Oh, the wing. Oh, the
Yeah,
wing.
the wing is pretty intimidating.
Oh, the wing. This is fine.
listen.
Everything's fine.
All right, so this is
Pure
the
protein.
this is the big crickets. This is our proteins for tonight.
Protein
Ready?
for days.
For
Ready?
gains.
And 3, 2,
Hey, cutie.
1. Oh! Oh! The head! It's so crunchy!
It is crunchy.
Swallow it! Swallow it! You'll be fine!
It's so hard to swallow.
Chew and swallow!
It's like
Oh, mine was
dry.
burnt!
It's so dry.
Mine was burnt!
It's so dry.
They get bigger than that.
Alright, so next is we have the grasshopper.
Look at those legs.
Wait, can we just eat a leg?
You have
Yes.
to eat a leg and a
Oh.
body part.
No, no, look at that leg. Oh.
I'll take the long one so you guys don't have to deal with it.
Thank you, Jer.
Oh,
I'll go with
And
this
I'll take
one.
this big one.
And then I want to go with this one because it
This
looks
is-
like a chicken.
It's basically Hopper from Bug's
See?
Life here,
Yeah, exactly.
getting his comeuppance.
See?
So
Yeah, do it.
Alright, just grab one.
Do it for
Are you
flick.
okay, Dom?
I'll be.
Are you okay, Dom?
See, I'm just gonna imagine this is just a tiny chicken leg, and it'll be all good, right?
Oh,
You've done so well. You've done so well.
Oh,
You can do
have I
this.
We have to do
just?
both?
Yes, at the same time.
At the same time?
Yes, unless you want to take, unless you want to eat one first and then eat the other one later.
He's a maniac. Sorry.
To be throwing these around, jeez.
I just. Oh, he's looking at me.
Don't look at it. Just grab it, look up, and then eat it.
No remorse.
I
There's
looked at
remorse.
its eyes. That was a terrible idea.
There's remorse.
No, not at all. Just do it.
I have.
There it goes. Now look at you. Now
It's
hurry,
not
pick it
like
up.
it, you're good.
Pick it up.
It's got a stomach and legs.
Just eat it. It's
Hey,
dead.
I don't know how they could do that. My stomach doesn't feel so great.
Agreed. Let's just see what Kyle has this week on Face Off.
Hello everyone, I'm Kyle Glockner, and welcome back to another episode of Face Off. I've already talked about two of Nintendo's juggernaut franchises, so I figured I might as well talk about the third. The Mario franchise just wrapped up its 30th anniversary in 2015 and has spanned every single Nintendo console. Mario's had so many different games over the years, from the classic side-scrolling adventures to paper-based RPGs. But there's often an overlooked character in the Mario franchise, the younger brother Luigi. Luigi's usually found in Mario's shadow, but not in the case of two games in particular. And so on this episode of Face Off, I'll be comparing Luigi's Mansion and its sequel, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Let's get started. Released as a GameCube launch title in 2001, Luigi's Mansion was the first Mario game on Nintendo's new console and the first game to feature Luigi as the main protagonist. The premise of the game is that Luigi won a mansion in a contest he never entered, and upon arriving at the mansion to meet up with Mario, his brother was nowhere to be found. As Luigi begins to search the mansion, he discovers that his new home is haunted. After he meets Professor Egad, he acquires the Poltergust 3000, a vacuum with the power to suck up all the ghosts running around. This was Professor Egad's first appearance in a Mario franchise, as well as the first appearance of King Boo, a staple enemy in the franchise today. This game plays out much differently than any Mario game before it, as your goal is to collect keys to unlock more rooms to the mansion, getting ever closer to finding Mario. The main abilities you have are the ability to shine your light on ghosts and suck them up. That's it, you can't even jump. There really isn't much to this game, but it's still fun nonetheless. Now, as this is a scary game, the atmosphere of the mansion is just that, spooky and ominous. As you travel through unexplored areas of the mansion, ghosts can pop out at you out of nowhere, and honestly made me jump when they caught me off guard. This creepy atmosphere remains throughout the whole game, really giving you the feeling of exploring a haunted mansion. Luigi's Mansion is a relatively short game, requiring only 7 hours to complete, but does offer a more difficult version of the mansion after beating the final boss. But if you're looking for a game to pick up and play for only a couple hours, this probably isn't the game for you. People tended to be polarized about Luigi's Mansion, meaning they either loved it or hated it. For those who loved it, when Nintendo revealed its sequel, the hype was enormous. Released 12 years later on the 3DS in 2013, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was a direct sequel to the original game. In this game, King Boo escaped from his painting and destroyed the Dark Moon, which made all of the ghosts in the area docile, and it's up to Luigi to piece it back together. Now, unlike the previous game, Dark Moon is a mission-based game, which breaks up the gameplay drastically. Because whereas in the first game you would just keep walking around the mansion until you found what you were looking for, you now had a set objective with certain areas of the mansion available for you for that specific mission. This game certainly feels more bland than the first entry, as I only played it for about 6 hours before never picking it up again. I mean, it does have a bunch of new features like multiplayer mode, but it just doesn't compare to the original. On top of that, the atmosphere of this game feels a lot more comedic than its predecessor. Most of the time the game goes for a cheap slapstick gag rather than an ominous overtone, which really takes you right out of the game. Overall, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is not the sequel many of us anticipated. While the first game is extremely short, it still holds up well for a game of its era. So for this battle, the winner is the original Luigi's Mansion. So what do you think? Do you think the GameCube original is better, or do you prefer the 3DS sequel? Be sure to let me know by tweeting me at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag FaceOff. Until next time, I'm Kyle Glockner, and I'll see you next time on Face Off.
It looks like we've made it to the end of our show.
If you miss our show or want to see more content, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube page, and be sure to check out our Instagram.
I'm Brendan O'Hara.
And I'm Andrea Ash. Thank you for taking the time to goof off with us.
On this, have you ever noticed how this fake wall has a fake TV on it with our logo on it?
Yes.
That we can see in real time?
If anyone manages to mess up too badly, the 6 weeks pass by surprisingly quickly, and if you've done nothing to spend time at the tavern.
Hey! Ready? 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 5.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. To find out how you can make Emmy-winning media, visit the UA School of Communication online. ZTV. Make media. Make a difference.